of a company is not beans in Nigeria. In fact, it takes innovation to constantly play in Nigerian markets because we all know how the market is. So I saw a quote where they said, innovation is seeing what everybody sees, but thinking what no one has thought. Can we have a round of applause for each of our panelists? It is really lovely to be here with you, and thank you very much for honoring our invitation today. So I'll be asking questions, and I'd love to hear the opinions of each of you. First of all, I'd like to know what the typical day as a CEO looks like for each of you. So sir, I'd like to hear yours first.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, sir.
My mission will not be completed if I'm unable to let you know that I'm here to speak with you. Not the typical SPEUI speech you will hear, but I'm here to tell you, come let's reason together. I graduated from this department in 1997. And I would like to bring my experience, that which we do not have, to bear with you, so that you can be better prepared for the outside world and the future. The life of a CEO is nothing significant, but like we often say, a lizard in Nigeria cannot become a crocodile in the US. If you are not prepared for it, if you don't see it, if you cannot envision it, you cannot be it. And the challenge I will push, my first challenge to you will be, what do you see yourself becoming? The yesteryears will tell. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for that wonderful quote. I'd love to hear from Dr. Olusola. What exactly does your day look like as a CEO?
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here to speak to you all about the life of a CEO. But what I can also tell you is that you are all CEOs of yourselves. And then what matters is whether you want to impact several other lives. And if you do, then people might officially call you a CEO. So the life of a CEO starts by understanding the fact that you're responsible for several other people's lives. First of all, your staff. Those who wake up every day thinking about the assignments you've given them, thinking about your vision and your goals. People that have already bought into those visions. You need to plan for them as well. So for me, the day starts by 12 midnight, when you have to make sure that what everybody's going to do the next day, whether you're around or you're not around, they know. Because the easiest thing is expectation. That's the easiest thing. As a CEO, you might be tempted to think, but didn't you know that this person was supposed to do this? I didn't know, you didn't tell me. I didn't tell you, but didn't you? Because you, as the CEO, had all those things in your head. You didn't tell them, you thought they knew. A lot of assumptions. So sometimes you need to have all of these things planned every morning before you even go to bed. So that when you go to bed, everybody knows what to do. That's the first thing. Then of course, when you wake up by 4 o'clock, depending on the kind of person you are, if you sleep early, you wake up early. If you sleep late, you may wake up late or early. Sometimes it becomes a habit and you need to really work on yourself. But then you wake up 4 o'clock, you pray to God. Abi, is it not? God is the ultimate CEO, right? Yes. So you pray to God and then you start checking your messages to make sure that there is nothing you haven't taken care of. Like what I do, I have a member of staff. I always send everything I'm supposed to do. I send it to the person. So I don't forget. So he remembers everything. It's his job to remember. He cannot forget. So he will always check and remind me, sir, you have a meeting by this o'clock. You have to be here, you have to be there. That makes life easier. Then of course, I know that there are different types of CEOs. There are some that are the real CEOs. I'm not the real CEO. I'm a kind of CEO that is also working. Sometimes it's a problem because one must learn to delegate. But if you look for me, I'll be in the lab coding, building works and all that. Maybe because I'm still young to some extent. As we grow older, we must learn to train others that can do everything for us, while all we do is count the amount of money in the account. You know? We just check if somebody has paid or not. So the idea is that for me, I have to get to work. If I'm to travel, I must make sure people that are going to do whatever I was supposed to do are aware of it. So that's the whole thing, and then checkmating everybody. For example, I have one bad habit. I hope God forgives me for that. There's another member of staff in my office. I have told him, even when I'm not in the office, Mauricio, even when I'm not in the office, I want to know everything that is going on. Because I don't like to be told that this was what they thought I wanted. For instance, someone makes an inquiry or asks a question and they give a response. I want to know what you have done. I don't want to be somewhere and someone says to me, oh, we were at your office and this was what was said, and I'm not aware. I need to be carried along. So I said, even if I don't reply you on the chat, let the messages be on my phone. So that whenever I check my phone, I'm not missing out on anything. Live and direct. So I want to just say that for me, my whole day is that when I wake up, I plan. When I'm not in the office, I still want to know what's going on. Because I feel that at this level, everybody needs to be guided to keep the vision in check. Thank
you. Senator, first, I would like to thank once again this department, so I don't need to say much. I was there yesterday. So, first to thank you for what you guys are doing, SPEUI chapter. I can see the harmony between the lecturers and the students. You guys are improving on what we used to experience. Tunde and I belong to the same generation, even though we were a few years apart, but we were here almost the same time. So we have common friends, so it's good that you guys have brought Tunde and I together again. We used to see each other out there, we just say hi and then, talk over the phone. Whether it's somewhere in Europe and I'm somewhere in the middle of nowhere, That's one. Then Dr. Olusola, it's also a privilege to be sitting very close to him. Ganko is developing a software to make planning easy. And I challenge my engineers, say, go for everybody out there. I have no clue what software development is all about. So they went, and someone came back, I think one of the coppers, who is also your colleague here, said they found a company called Rain. I also R-A-I-N. Wow, what are they raining on us? And they had a meeting. I was right in Port Harcourt office that day. They said I should come. I said, I'm sorry, I've got 1,001 things to deal with. So you guys go ahead, talk to him. I didn't know he was there. So I never even looked at the profile, only for my operations manager. He said, the end of Rain will be here. I said, wow, that's amazing. So thank you very much for making this possible. You see, this is part of networking. You understand? You've actually brought my brother to me. So he's going to solve us, help us solve some of the problems. Back to your question. A typical day for me as the CEO of Ganko, it comes down to what is your intention? Why did you start the business? Why are you in business? Anything you do, you must be intentional about it. The first thing is your responsibility to your stakeholders. And your number one stakeholder is yourself. What are you doing to yourself? How about what is the state of your mental health? Your physical health? Are you having enough sleep? When you wake up, ask yourself, are you happy? Is your basket of joy just right beside you? You must wake up happy. That's number one. Then you will be happy if you ask yourself, what did I achieve yesterday? To my stakeholders. Number one is yourself. Two, God. Why did I say God number two? God is not, you're not above God. But if you're not in the right state of mind, you won't be able to talk to God. You ask yourself, have I spoken to God today? Even if it is just one sentence, God, thank you for another day. Thank you for the night. Thank you for everything you've done for me. You have to talk to him. I'm a firm believer in God. Now, the second one, your immediate family, your children, if you're married, if you're not, your siblings. Then the third one, your workers. Your workers are actually your number one asset. My HR manager is there. I tell him every day, these guys are my responsibilities. They are my primary technology. Because if anyone is not in the right state of mind, your day is messed up. Then number 4 is your clients, the outside world. Then number 5 are the other people. Now I roll that back. If everything you're doing, you're not positively impacting life, you are a failure. There are many people that whose life, whose dependency, whose future, whose joy depend on you. I always tell my friends, Nathaniel made a joke yesterday that buying a phone was not a problem for engineer Olaoye, and I laughed. You understand? Maybe he was right, I don't know. But let's leave that. Some people can spend ₦1 million just on a sitting, at the club or at the lounge. Meanwhile, some families, just 50,000 naira a month is enough to make them happy. And those CEOs, they would rather spend those money just to feel good, and they are denying others the 50,000 naira. So you as the CEO, how am I treating my staff? From my drivers, my house help, am I fulfilling my obligations? Am I meeting their expectation? That's number 1. Payment of your, how am I going to improve their lives? Then you are as good as your last job, as we say in oil and gas. You are as good as your last, business as well to your clients. So if your client cannot call you back, if you don't have repeat business, so everything you think about, so all these thoughts within 5 minutes they run through your head. What am I doing? How am I impacting life? Am I giving back? What will posterity say about me? So all these things, they are important. So it's not all about how much money am I making, how much money will come in, what will be the inflow today. You call your accountant, can you do this, can you do that? There's also one thing I learned from my partner, Naomi Peters. He will say, Olaoye, it is not what you say, it is how you say it. And this little thing has destroyed lives and has molded lives. I can be talking to Professor Isenwa now, and Professor Isenwa is probably somewhere in Trenchard, and he's in distress. And he calls me, Abiodun, as he normally calls me, this. And the way I'm responding to him, he's not seeing me, I'm not seeing him. So if I respond in one way, may destroy his entire day. He may ask me, Abiodun, can you go to my office and do this? Even if I'm not close to his office, I should be able to make him comfortable because I don't know his state of mind. So it's important. Now, CEOs will deal with a lot of stress. A lot. You want to pay salary? You want to make sure that your workers are in the right, frame of mind. You want to make sure that your workers come to work every day and they are happy. You must be able to say, when I get to the office today, am I getting to the office and I'm wearing this, strong face because I want to be serious. We are not making money. That's not the best thing to do. You have to ask yourself, I must enter that office with a smile. Because when people see you smile as a leader, they are happy. Let them come in with their problems. They don't believe that you have problems because you are the CEO. Because they believe, if this man can pay me 250,000 naira and we are 10, that's 2.5 million naira. Man, if this man can pay 2.5 million naira, and this is how much we are also, spending in making the running the business. Wow, this man has a lot of money. So let me go to him. I need a loan of 1 million naira. You can't say, get out of my office, because you do not know whether that is a matter of life and death. You must be able to say, okay, calm down. What do you need it for? Can we walk around that? You must be able to say that. So your typical day starts with you preparing for that. And I'll close with this. I liken a CEO to a pilot or a sailor or the OIM on the rig. For some of us who are familiar with offshore drilling operations. Now, for some of us who are privileged to fly regularly, when you want to board a plane, I know 98%, if not 99% of us, do not bother to look across and check the cockpit. I want to see the pilot. No. We all go and sit down. Some will start playing music. Some will start asking for champagne. That is the first demonstration of faith. You have faith in what you have not seen. And that's that pilot. You don't know whether that man drank all night, whether that man has just been, bastardized or brutalized by anybody, and is going to fly that plane. Now, that CEO, who is the pilot, when he's there in the cockpit, he has to put all his problems behind him. Because so many lives depend on his actions and inaction. The same thing with a sailor, the captain of a ship. The CEO is the captain of a ship. If that ship is going to sink, that captain cannot get off the ship. He can't jump ship. So as the CEO, you are the captain of that ship. You are the pilot of that big plane. So you have to get hold of your mental health. At times, we borrow to run the business. At times, we tell our children, I'm sorry, I won't be able to pay that money for now. Can you please wait so that others can be happy? Thank you.
I just want to test this mic. Thank you very much. Those were beautiful responses. So one thing was very similar. The title of a CEO is very sweet on the surface, Chief Executive Officer. In fact, you wear your shoulder pad very high bearing that title. But from what each person has shared, you can see that there is a load of responsibility. Each CEO here has people under him he thinks about, he cares for, and a lot of plans going on his mind just to make sure that impact is being felt within his or her company. That is really beautiful, and I'm really privileged to be amongst this panel session. I hope you all are taking notes, because the number of mental notes I've made here God help my mind. All right, so I'll be moving forward. So, what are your challenges you faced as a CEO? I see a lot of experiences packed. Just going through each of your LinkedIn profiles, I've seen you move from different companies, building impacts, building a lot of experiences to your deck. What are your challenges you faced as a CEO, and how exactly have you overcome these challenges? So I'll start with you, Engineer Tunde.
Okay, thank you. You'll always face challenges. Challenges will always come. You can't avoid it. You can't run away from it. However, that will be when your original self will come out. When you have challenges. And it starts from now. I left you with, how do you envision yourself? You want to be the MD of a company, maybe Shell, maybe Chevron, maybe ExxonMobil, or you are seeing yourself as a CEO, or you are seeing yourself as a Professor Emeritus, even greater than Professor Shenwa. You must see what you want to become in life. That will therefore determine how you navigate your path. Because God knows what He already wants you to be. And He will drop an inkling in you. You will know inside of you who you really want to be. Many a times we follow noise. What do I call noise? Our environment, our friends. What goes on around us, we follow it. Some may be because your friends are a group of pastors. You want to become pastors. But that's not your calling. Some may be want to be because they got a job earlier in Shell. And they think that, they can become an MD. Probably because they have a mentor that's pulling them up. However, you don't like to work in a big place. Naturally. Working in a big place, a pyramid, it comes with a whole lot. It comes with backbiting, shouting, being the privileged, among the privileged few. Your friends can also be a snitch on you. These are all the things that happen in the workplace. But peradventure, that's not your character. That's not who you are. You need to determine. I'll give you a lead on how to navigate your waters. Everybody has a water unique to itself. As a fish, if you go out of your waters, you keep struggling. Do you want to continue to struggle forever? What I am today, I saw before I got into UI. I wasn't actually interested in studying petroleum engineering. When my dad walked in, I said, I saw something in Billy's today. And I said, what is that? He said, they control the treasury of the nation. I said, who are they? He said, they are petroleum engineers. I said, do you want me to do it? He said, yes. I said, it's okay. You are privileged now, there's internet everywhere. You can read books. You can see videos. You can download a whole lot. We don't have that access. We have textbooks, photo, is it D.A. Hawkins? The textbook, sir? Kraft and Hawkins, sir. Thank you. Photocopies from photocopy. That you even photocopy, you can't read. I'm telling you, at that SUB, they collected our money with the kerosene photocopy machine. When you carry out that copy machine, that paper that they have copied like this, you'll be smelling kerosene. But you can't see, you can't read. In fact, there are some that if you put them together in a few hours, you can't see the next page again. Those are the kind of atmosphere we learn from. But I knew. And you see, you are here today. Don't look down on anybody. Be friends. One to the other. Christians to Muslims, you will work together. Let me tell you the honest truth. You will work together, you will associate together, you will relate, you will eat together. You will feed together, you are all human beings. Don't segregate. You don't know who will be where. God has brought you all together. Okay? So as you are growing, you will come to discover who you really are. I found out that the things I struggle for I don't get, but the things I don't struggle for comes to me. Then the day I caught that, I stopped to struggle, even till now. Just like you were, at your age, year 2, I was a treasurer for SPEUI during our time, during Bello's time. Bello was the president, I was the treasurer. And lo and behold, when God wants to locate you, He will locate you. The man brought then Engineer Oladele, the group general manager of NNPC Nappies at that time, brought him to Ibadan, all the way from Lagos, and single-handedly picked me. And I had never seen a boy who was born in Ibadan. Which rig is near Ibadan? Where will you see it? They talk about it, talk about bag. You're just like, what are they talking? You just imagine in your head. What else are they talking about? I mean, a close book maybe could be lost. Because the pictures you are seeing in the book textbooks that we have are not clear. So just imagine it. Until when Mr. Oladele came, I said, and I became his godson. And he would tell me, Tunde, if you want to come in, just come in through the back door. You have the allergies and allergies there, sitting in his office. And I will go in. And when I was to do IT, he handed my letter to somebody. That person sat on it. I said, no, you have not started. What happened? And he said, he asked his TA, Mr. Falobi, me Falobi, go after him. And that is, I immediately the letter. Immediately I started the following week. There was strike at that time. He said, that was 6 months. He said, do you want to continue? I said, yes, sir. Since the strike, continue. I continued. I did about close to a year at Nappies. During this period, I was attached to Pemprod in Nappies. And that was where I saw firsthand that there's money in this country. At that time, we were writing millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. That was JV, and we share it according to your quota percentage. Take note of these next few lines. God will connect you. It is how you manage those connections. You are young. We're talking about mentorship. God is not going to come from heaven to mentor you. But God will use those people that He will connect you with to mentor you. One thing I've noticed in this part of the world is this. Don't tell anybody, mentor me. Continue to watch that person. Those things you like in that person, begin to pick them and imbibe them. Get closer to that person. Work for that person. Make sacrifices. You will say they are using you, but you are gaining a lot if you know what you are doing. And if you are not used, you cannot gain. So be ready to be used. Okay? While there, that was when computer was just coming out. Mr. Falobi then had Bytex. Bytex is one of the foremost computer companies in Nigeria. They had laptops. Then they will give me their laptop to be working on. Village boy, though I hold the key to computer lab here, but what do I know? But the laptop they gave me then was what I used to train. I paid at Iwo Road. There used to be a school at Iwo Road then that trained. I paid, they taught us Fortran. theory. And I'm like, I can never know computer if this is the way they teach computer. Like. But lo and behold, while there was when I had access to use laptop to train, we had a foremost economist there, Engineer Yinkali, of blessed memory now. He was a petroleum engineer from UI, but he's a petroleum economist, and one of the foremost we had. I worked directly with him, with Mr. Olamide, and lo and behold, me and Mr. Olamide, that was since 1992-93. We still spoke last week. We are very close. They are my bosses, they are my mentors, they are my go-to. They know me in and out. If you go to them and they tell you, Tunde did this, they tell you, no, it's not Tunde. They know what I can do. Those days, we eat what we call condiments together. You know condiments? You don't know condiments? Dundu and akara and plantain. Early in the morning. They will give me the money. I will go and buy. This is at Adetukumba Ademola in VI. I will go and buy. While before I come back, I will have plugged water for our tea. And they will make tea. I will go and buy. So when we come back, all of us, first thing in the morning, we will eat from the same plate. All of us. You have to build trust with your future helpers. You are doing ITs now. You'll soon be going for your service here. It doesn't end there. Cultivate an habit that they will remember you, that they will know you. Know them to their families. You are not stupid. Because they have what you don't have. You are building your future. Mr. Olaoye was angry with me, sir, that I didn't invite him. I didn't tell him when my father died. Who am I? That was a man whose name is in the Guinness Book of Record. And simply because I thought he was in Canada, let me not disturb him. Engineer Neye, sir, brought his family, brought his wife in from the US to attend my father's burial. That was relationship. You need to build relationship. We looked at the likes of Engineer Neye. Engineer Neye used to be the SPEUI Africa Regional Director for Africa. You need to build relationship. We used to look at them as gods, because when they come for meetings at that time, it will be like with escorts, with everything. But thank God for SPE that bridged that gap between students and executives in the companies. And that is one of the reasons I'm going to live here. I thought Engineer Wosh will be here. That which they started, that students have to go and do their exhibition somewhere else outside the number one, they should think about it again. We need to bridge that gap. People benefited from it. They can't remove that ladder. They can't destroy that ladder. They should bring it back. So it's SPA is not just for the rich. No. Otherwise, people like us wouldn't have had opportunities. So when you look at being a CEO, it starts from those areas. You're growing up, building that character, building that status. People are watching you. They may not tell you. They are forming opinions wherever you go. I keep telling people, it takes one person to nominate you. It takes another person to second it. If there's a person who says, no, I have a reservation, you are finished. Our industry is big in spending, but it's very small in number. We know ourselves. If I don't see him this year, I know I'll see him next year. At night. I know it. It's very small. We know the regular faces we see, and people are taking notes. Start to build your future from now. Whatever you want to be, whether as a CEO, whether as an MD of a company, whether as a general manager, it starts from now. Now, to move further, like I said, you must envision what you want to be. I started off as a reservoir engineer. I got to Chevron, NYSC. They put everything on my table. Pencil, ruler, everything, don't need my table. They gave me 3 assets. Go and use it. And I'm like, this one is all right. Yes, I scored probably 70-something in petroleum economics. What does that then translate to now? Those are things we never knew. Everything is on the system. The well histories are on the system. The field history are on the system. Everything is there for you. Just log in and start to work and give us recommendation. And I thought my boss was, he doesn't like me because he's an Igbo man. He doesn't like me. He wants me to fail. He wants me to fail. I now started going to the Yorubas there. I said, look at what he has done now. I don't know what. But lo and behold, they spoke with me. They said, calm down. And they started showing me. They started showing me what to do. And lo and behold, I produced a fantastic report in 1 year of service year. I did a field development plan, and I did a unitization because the field straddles another asset. How much you must produce, and those people have to produce more. The other side have produced more. So we did the unitization and we presented it. And that made me to be well known. From there, I went on to, that was in the 90s, in the 97, 98, that was when we had downturn in oil price. And nobody was hiring because the price wasn't good. So they couldn't hire me. I was recommended to be hired by Chevron, but nobody was hiring. So I was let go. I had an opportunity with a service company. They're into engineering designs. Just take this now, and because we know the owner. Oh yeah. I took it. I learned engineering design from there. I never knew it will impact me in the future. They gave me offer for banking. There's one man today that they said had 700 something houses or something. Did you read it? I don't know his name anyway. But I had a contact with him in 1998. His office is not bigger than from this place to that place, small like that. I wrote a proposal that if we can put our money together, we can do non-rig walkover jobs and rigless walkover jobs. We can do it so that all our foreign currencies doesn't go to Citibank, because all our foreign currencies then go to Citibank. And we can start domiciling some of them in our local banks. Then we used to have about probably 20 something or 30 banks, fortune banks and all of that. And I share all those documents around. And when I shared it, GT saw it, they loved it. I think UBA saw it, they liked it, and some few banks. But when another bank saw it, the bank that man was prior to becoming our, and he called me and said, you know what? Come, young man, I know you need job. Go and bring me Chevron account, and I'll give you good position. And I'm like, sir, I'm not a banker. I'm a petroleum engineer. I'm not interested. And I walked away. If I had gone to a bank, I would have remained in the bank. Till now, probably you wouldn't have seen me again. Right? What am I saying is this. Make effort to remain in the industry that you love. Do everything possible to stay there if you believe in it. I remained there, went into engineering design. From there, I did project management. We installed P3E, Primavera Enterprise Project Management. So put my eyes to project management a lot. Not knowing that it will be an added value in the long run. projected me. I went into supply chain, petroleum engineer, supply chain. I counted screws, and nuts and bolts. How many are in the warehouses? What do they need again? At what cost? Do we need to reorder and all of those things? Yes, we did it. But all of those things were preparing me. Until when Engineer Nayi came in, and I said, Tunde, I've seen your face in Chevron, and you did something in Chevron. That was how he moved me back to engineering. If we had not had relationship, we would have went all out. People are watching you, they are monitoring you, and they are taking notes. He brought me back to technical as a reservoir engineer, and we worked offshore, onshore. While there, I was learning. I did more than reservoir engineering. I put my eyes, my nose, my mouth into things that doesn't concern me because I want to know. I love to add value. I like innovations. When I clocked 40, I was offshore. I went to do a high temperature, high pressure well. And after we finished that job, everybody avoided it. It was passed on to me. You have no choice. You have to go and do it. As we finished that job, all the service people that we worked with said, let's have a picture. We had the picture. And afterwards, as we finished having that picture, I was walking to the accommodation to pick my bag, awaiting the helicopter. And I heard the voice, this may be one of your last visits offshore. I got to town, I heard that they had given severance package. God said, put into it. I put in without telling my wife. I got home, I told my wife, there's no job again. So, oh, that's fine, whatever you have. We will talk about the aspect of relationship later. Be sure you are marrying the right person. We had an agreement before we got married that we are not traveling out. All this jackpot thing has not happened at that time. It was really good at that time. But we had an agreement we're not traveling, we are training, we are doing everything here. So when all this jackpot thing started, we were not moved. And we had an agreement that all our kids must have their first degree in Nigeria. Our first daughter graduated 2 months ago as a medical doctor.
Wow.
The next two are reading mechatronics in this country. They're in 400 level, both of them. So, what am I saying is, marry right. It will give you peace of mind. And it will align your target. So, when we got there, when I got home and I told her there's no job, I said, okay, because I made up my mind. I can't backbite. I can't go and mudsling somebody. It's not my way of life. I'll tell you straight what I feel. If you like, you take it. If you like, don't take it. That's me. I don't care who you are. I can't leak us. And I went there and I got there. And I said, even if it is pure water, I mean, with my level of exposure, my pure water should sell better than anybody else. So I went out. I went immediately to farming. Lo and behold, I said, people are watching you. You don't know who they are. I got a call from a former MD of GGM of NNPC, Napins again. And he called. And he said, Tunde, where are you? No, he said, Tunde, where are you? I said, I'm in the farms. I'm far away. He said, no, you can't leave the industry. I heard you have dropped your letter. He said, you can't leave the industry. He said, come, I want to let us see now. Come, let us see. I wanted to go and do my own thing. This elder has called me. I can't say no. Not only him, there are about 4. So I had to go. I I got there, he said this and that. I can't see everything here, sorry. But lo and behold, I was hooked for another 7 years. I can't go and do my own thing. You have to respect elders. They are placed ahead of you. Somebody dropped my CV with them. I don't know the person till date. They never told me. We rolled 7 years. We did some fantastic jobs. At a point, I have some of the marginal fields all in my hand. That I was entering my house around 3 a.m. in the night. Because everybody wants. The emirs, the obis, their children will come. They want marginal field. I'll be meeting in hotels. Some will even bring, in fact, some brought as much as some heavy money. Heavy, when I say, not naira, heavy money. Oga, take. Now you just give you. Just assure us. No, Oga, don't give me. Take this mark, take it to the person that sent you. Once the person can sign on it, you have. But don't give me money. But I tell you, those sects of people today, if I have taken that money at that time, and they didn't eventually get it, will I be safe? They will kill me. They will just kill me. I tell you, that's the industry you operate. So learn to have a clean hand, be honest, and be reliable. Today, they are the people that will tell you, go anything he tells you, go and meet him. And you are laying a foundation to the future again. Because if it's not part of you, when you find yourself there, you can't operate it. You can't take it. You will fail. But you have to make it part of you. Money must not be your driver. Money must not be your driver. Under no circumstances. Money, forget it. You must know inside of you that you will have money. And until you have that thing in you, you'll be struggling. So, that one came and passed, and I left, and I started my own. And lo and behold, can I go and start negotiating with people on requests for quotes? I can't do it. You know how request for quotes is now? He knows. You want to win the contract. And God told me, I have not asked you to do that. Go after innovative technologies. Technologies that will reduce OPEX and improve ROI. And lo and behold, the Lord opened the way. And the reservoir engineer went into maintenance. And God opened the door with the #1 IOC. And we have been serving them for years. And our partner will tell you, there have been references to us with other companies across the globe that anything he tells you, go and sleep. You know that we don't have a good name internationally. But you need to rewrite the story. It is you who will rewrite it, not me. For yourself, you have to rewrite it. You have to be trustworthy. You have to stand by your words. They have to know you that this is a different person. Then they will stand for you and they start recommending you. Today, I tell you, there's nothing we cannot bring in from Norway. As tough as it is. But there's nothing we cannot do. That's how much God has opened doors for us. As a CEO, it is not all merry because it's a CEO. You must think, you must be business-minded, bringing businesses to the table. If there's no business, there's no money, then how do you pay people? We have an industry that loves to do it like they do in Texas. Do it big. Do it big. But you have to talk to yourself. Do I really need that? You don't need it. don't need to do it big. You need to start small, then grow to become big. Can you compete with the smaller or the bigger organizations? Do it in your own way, and God will prosper you. So as a CEO, you have to set the direction of your organization, your location, how you want to do your business, your corporate culture. Your staffs may come to your guy, one shade way. That's how they do it. It's up to you to decide. What do you really want? When they say, let's go and see Mr. So, what are your decisions? You have to steer the ship. Your direction, resources are powerful. Human resources are powerful. But let me tell you one thing. Resources can also fly. When the resources fly, you are left in the cold. So it's based on the standard you have established, the foundation you have laid, that will keep steering your boat when the resources fly. So you must maintain your standard and keep it running. So as a CEO, there's a whole lot for you. But like I said, you have to see first what you want to become. So that when you have that opportunity, you are able to recognize it, you are able to pick it up and run with it. The opportunities will come. But it has a lot of indices, a lot of things for you to carry along that will make you stand out. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I love how you were able to bring out your story. It shows that you were actually driven, you knew where you wanted to go, you knew where you wanted to be. And that is actually very unique because it's very, very easy to be pushed by different people in our lives, different situations. It makes us lose focus, lose the sight of where we are going to. Thank you very much, sir, for sharing that. That was really beautiful. Dr. Olusola, can you share with us your biggest challenge as a CEO and how exactly you've been able to overcome that?
All right, because rain is around Ring Road, the biggest challenge is when you are going towards Orita. So you see traffic lights, like you're not familiar with that area. That's the biggest challenge, somewhere towards Felele. Anyway, that's on a lighter note. But to be honest with you, the biggest challenge of anyone who wants to own a business and run a business successfully is connection. How do you get people that need you to know you exist? And for many young people, in fact, in this room, I'm almost certain that everyone has a business. Either you are good at web design or graphics and you wish that everybody will reach out to you. This banner, of course, I'm sure it's a student that designed it, another student went ahead to print it out. Everybody's a business person, but how do you grow to the bigger level? Like, for me, my company is 5 years old, and I have, within that period, received the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations in my office. We've received ministers and, I've met some governors and even the Chief of Defense Staff. Why? Did I know them? Did my parents know them? The answer is no. I'm from a law family. I studied engineering, so obviously I don't have any background in engineering at home. But I personally believe that if you want connection, you must be the connection. I mean, your parents did not know people just by chance. They had either made impact in those people's lives or they had supported those people at some point. You to do something. And for me, the best way to get people to know you and trust you and believe in you is by putting yourself out there. So for the young people, thank God we're in the social media age. You're probably on TikTok. I'm sure some of you will have YouTube. What image are you putting out about yourself? Are you doing makeup and doing some funny videos and hoping you can build a career in petroleum engineering or any engineering field? Or are you speaking about the challenges in today's world? When you hear about maybe national grid shutdown, or you hear about refinery working or not working, do you air your opinion on even if there is nobody watching? The reason is one person may actually notice it. Or you might say something and people might want to Google more about you. Would they find you on Google? The name of my company was chosen for that purpose alone. When people say, do we have robotics or artificial intelligence in Nigeria? That's where the name of my company falls in. Wow. So I don't need to pay Google for that. How do you get yourself noticeable? That's number one. Then number two is the knowledge. Because when people finally notice you, what do they see? Do you impress them with the knowledge of what you say you know? To be honest with you, as a Nigerian, obviously you're in the best university, but the question is, apart from the theoretical knowledge and the sound understanding of principles, many of us may not have seen some of the facility we need to be able to talk about. So let's say you are a petroleum engineer and you go for an interview in the oil and gas, and they start asking you about rig and some of the challenges in the, whether it is well testing or inspection of tanks and so on. And you cannot relate with the issues. Obviously, it will look like you're not fit for the job. So how do you build that capacity? With this age we are in now, it's easy to learn online, but more importantly, network amongst yourselves. Like I always tell student organizations, don't say the university did not teach us this, they didn't teach us that. What is your group, your association even teaching yourselves? So I'm glad that there is this forum happening right now, because it's an opportunity for people to learn. But even amongst yourself, do you actually, look, maybe excursions would be great, but do you also sit down and dissect some of these industry challenges so that the next time you go out there, you are speaking like someone that has been working in the industry? My own opportunity was when I went to University of Manchester. I found out that the university could actually look like an industry where you will see a lot of processes running. At the point when I entered the building, it's called Sackville Street Building. When I entered into that building, I was confused. Wait, where's the department? I'm just seeing machines, things are running, pumping going on here, people are going in, taking data and all that. That was what I experienced that made me realize that, wait, one can actually get practical exposure in the school. But Nigeria is not there yet. It's up to you to do that. Now, when you build your knowledge and you have the network, it's now the integrity. Because for me, people already felt that robotics in Nigeria, we're not there yet. Let alone in Ibadan. You know, if rain were in Lagos, you can assume that, okay, maybe it's an Oyibo that owns this place. But in Ibadan, we don't have an international airport, you know, so definitely you must be local to have that. And so, the first thing is, when you work for them, will your work speak for you? And luckily for me, I have a philosophy in my own life that nothing is impossible. As an engineer, you are not an engineer until you can walk into an empty room and come out with something. Then you're an engineer. So if I'm given a project and someone says, we have this problem, is it possible? It is possible. And that did not just get to me overnight, it was by working. So before you become a CEO, definitely you have some work experience. Because the real problem about being a CEO is that the buck stops at your table. If, let's say, what's your name now? What's your name? Yeah? Victor, right? Let's say Victor is working for me, and a big company says, please build this drone that can fly. And I say, Victor, that's a project, please do it. Is this okay? 2 weeks time, the company wants to see the drone. We're like, okay, Victor, test the drone, and it doesn't fly. You know, they're not going to be like, why did Victor do this? They're going to be like, so your company cannot build a drone? So that means that for Victor, it's a learning experience. If he does this for 10 years, or let me say 2 years, because now nobody wants to work for too long for someone, and goes out, he'll be able to now learn from all those mistakes and build a better company at my expense. But luckily for me, I may have built a reputation that can cover that mistake. Now, that was the benefit I got when I was in UK working for Forth Engineering, a robotics company. We were dealing with nuclear decommissioning projects for the UK, and they will be big projects. I will be doing most of the controls and programming. My boss would be like, how many days do you need for this project? And because I don't like disappointing people, and that's a big problem. It's better to tell someone it will take 10 days, even though you need to take 2 days. Because if you spend 2 days, they'll be impressed. But if you tell them it will take 2 days, and then it takes 10 days, they'll be disappointed. You understand? That was something I had to learn over and over. It got to a point, they'll tell me, how long do you need? And I'll be like, 2 days. They'll say, no, 4 days. What is the 4th day? I'll still be like, please, I need 1 more day. So yes, the thing is, by virtue of that experience, I learned a lot. And so with that, when I started my own company, I knew what I was talking about. You know, it's always good when you start a new company and you can still talk about what you've done in the past. Not that, oh, it's a brand new company and I'm just starting for the first time. Nobody's going to work with you. So for me, the greatest challenge was, you know, the connections, getting people to even notice you and then trust you. And the solution was learn, get practical knowledge, and if you have to work for someone to get to that point, please do. Because that's when you'll be able to use leverage on their clout to make mistakes and learn. Thank you.
Thank you very much. How the commissioner's answer aligns very well with what the engineer previously said about making yourself a person of capacity so that people can trust you, people can remember you, people can align you to your goals and also remember you for opportunities. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Engineer Olaoye, I'll be moving to you. Can you share your challenge as a CEO and how you've been able to overcome it?
Okay. Can anyone remind me or probably remember what I said yesterday about challenges? A challenge is what?
Opportunity.
An opportunity. Good. After the challenges, every day. You see, I almost jumped out of my seat when Dr. Olusola said, rain came out of what? Questions. Robotics and artificial intelligence in Nigeria. Someone just asked, is there rain in Nigeria? And all he did was come in and the name came up. Challenges are opportunities. Every challenge is an opportunity. Don't see challenge as a setback. Don't see challenge as something to make you withdraw back. My first challenge is sustainability. Do not venture into what you cannot sustain. And that is the first challenge everybody has. It's also what? An opportunity. Push yourself. Tell yourself one thing. Can this be sustained? If you are able to answer that question. I mean, my brothers here who spoke earlier than me, they said a lot of things that, I mean, we have a lot of commonalities. So the first challenge is sustainability. How do you sustain it? The second challenge is what? Is your generation. Have a challenge with your generation. What are the challenges? Number one, you want to run without crawling. And you believe you know it all. Because Dr. Olusola is here, robotics and artificial intelligence. You've forgotten that he is developing a machine or artificial intelligence. He is not an angel. At least I can touch him, I can feel him. So that tells you that artificial intelligence does not come from the throne of grace that pastors talk about every day. Comes from people like him. So they develop it. I'm glad that we're going to work together. So I'm going to learn a lot from him. I'm a conservative person, old school. I like paper and pen engineering. It does not mean that I cannot, I also don't want it faster. So my challenge with sustainability and is every day, can I sustain it? Can I sustain, can I keep my staff? Can I maintain them? Can I stop them from leaving? If they're leaving Gango, they must go to a bigger company. An engineer called me last year. She was in the field. She served with me and I retained her. She read production and industrial engineering at either Anambra, what's the name of that school in Oka, whatever. She served in fact, I saw a lady here, I looked at her and said, wow, she looks like Rachel. When she came to my office, I was in town that day, and she came and I was asking her questions. And as she was answering, she was crying. I said, why are you crying? She said, I didn't make it to her because I disappointed my sister. She was like, no, you didn't disappoint anybody. You didn't even disappoint yourself, but don't worry about it. Oh, this, I don't know how I'm going to learn this. I don't understand petroleum engineering. I said, what you need to know is, you must be teachable. That's the first thing. Fast forward. She learned a lot within a short period of time. She finished and we retained her. 2 months later, I was in my office in Abuja. She called, sir, I have a question for you. I didn't know that she already spoke to AJ. She and AJ were on the field. I was even saying AJ should not put her in the night. She insisted she would work night. I said, no, you're too fragile. So she called. She said, you know, sir, if I finish service, I applied to this. I said, where? She said, Baker Hughes, this, and they called me. They want to do it. I said, okay. So what do you want to do? I just want to have your opinion, sir. And I said, Rachel, I'm so happy for you. She was like, sir. And she was crying over that. I said, why? She said, I said, Rachel, you're leaving me to a bigger organization. You are an ambassador. Please, anytime I'm one phone call away from you, and if Baker is not treating you well, come back. I said, you are going to be a good ambassador of Ganco, but I tell you something, you are going to be better than majority of the engineers who are coming because you are from me. I said I spent 14 and a half years with Baker Hughes in different parts of the world. I know the qualities of my engineers. I may not be able to pay what Baker is paying. You know what every day she calls me, and I'm like, which department are you? Oh, I'm in pressure control. I said, okay, this is what they are teaching you, this about. Learn it very well. But unfortunately, they are only teaching you this small part of engineering. Now, many others have come after that. You know, I told you that my challenge is your generation. That's my second challenge. I think I've explained sustainability. So I go back to sustainability. What is your rate of growth? How do you grow? What's your growth rate? You must be able to sustain that growth rate. It's not that you move from, 1 to 3 today, and tomorrow you are 3, next you are 3, then you move from 3 to 4. So you're not growing at a sustainable rate. So for your generation, I would say development rate. So you must be able to develop at a sustainable rate. For my brothers and friends and colleagues here, we have a rate. Tunde was talking about, this is how I do things, and he said some things before we came in. I asked him some questions, and he was saying, you know what, I'm not after all those things. He has some questions that he normally asks. You know, our generations are now in government. They are there. We did a lot of amutas when we were here. We did a lot of, protests. You guys now protest on social media. No bullets, no tear gas. Ask us about it. So it's easy to sit on your bed on your phone and protest. You even vote on your phone. You talk about you're on social media, you can criticize. Refineries are not working. Why are they not? Have you gone to find out? National grid has collapsed. Do you blame the federal government? I was talking to someone this morning. I said change rate is dropping, and the person was like, no, now why? I said, you see, and every time you blame government. Now maybe you have $10,000. You think by Christmas it will be $2,000 per dollar. Now it's 1,520 today. You are not happy. I said you are one of the destroyers of it. Oh, Olaoye, you started. I said no. No. I said I have bad news for you. I said next year budget is based on 1,400 naira to $1. So guess what? Go and change all your dollars. Flood the market with dollars. You see, you have access to internet. Tunde said a lot. He even forgot to say that Kraft and Hawkins, there's another one, is it Dake or so? Petroleum engineering books at Faculty of Tech library. There was no petroleum engineering library in our time. So Faculty of Tech, you only say natural gas engineering by Professor Kuku. Big books. Dr. Akintola is also nodding her head now. So you go to Central Library, Kennedy King. You see engineering books. Where do you see them? In classics. Religious studies. Why do you see them there? People hide them because we normally use library cards. So when someone borrows that book, because you have to return it, when he returns it, takes it to classics or takes it to. So when you're looking for it, you go to petroleum engineering, you don't see it. There were students then, we still remember them, we still know them today. They bought those books. So you have to go to their rooms and beg. Tunde even had money to do photocopies. Some of us never had that money. So you have to, like he said, photocopy or photocopies or photocopies. So you have to be using your hand to write areas. But you have access now to information. What do you do with the information? You focus on the negative information, negative things, and you think you know. I have four lovely young daughters, and one of them is studying engineering, and I ask her this, and they're like, oh yeah, this, the other one is, because I'm studying international business. Last week we had a quarrel. I said, I am your father. I know more than you. I have a master's degree. I've traveled far and wide. I brought you to America, so you don't know this country. She was like, no. Even was your father against this? I said, well, my father was a farmer. He never understood anything. But my father believed in me, and my father advised me, and I listened to him. He said something, listen to elders. They've been there. They may not have, there's a saying in Yoruba that a child can have as much clothes, but not as much rags. Elders have been there. There's nothing I know in the industry today that Professor Isewa doesn't know more. You understand? So your generation, you are impatient. That's it. And I'm flipping it back. You know the opportunity? With your generation, you're so smart. Very, very intelligent. You know where to get the answer. Honestly. The opportunity with you You want to do it smarter. You want to do it faster. And that's why I need Dr. Olusola. So he is the bridge between Tunde and I. Tunde is more into project management and a lot of things that he does. It's in between us and you. He understands, Dr. Olusola understands you guys drive more than I do. I'm a dumb iron person. When I say dumb iron, those of you who have been to the field, raw iron, really raw. That's what I handle. That's what I deal with. I'm a paper and pen engineer. Develop the software, I will use it to do my design. I will run my modeling and I will tell you, this thing you are saying, it's not practicable. And the other challenge, which is an opportunity for me with your generation, is what? You read to pass. You don't read to know. Engineers read to know. I know you want to satisfy Dr. Akintola, you want to satisfy Professor Isenwa, and many others, Dr. Wako. Let me tell you, if these people read to pass, they will not be able to develop those robotics. If doctors read to pass, you know how many people will be taken to the morgue every hour. If lawyers read to pass, everybody will be going to jail. Why do we read to pass? Understand why these seats, why they all fall apart within a short period of time. It says something. You are not an engineer until you come into a place and you're able to make a change. Honestly, do you guys still do real analysis?
Yes, sir.
I know some of you hate it the way I hated it, but guess what? Several years later, I had to go back. Yes, because I was developing a small commercial model for me to come out profitable on each project based on exchange rates, because I moved some of our equipment from America and I have to pay them 100% in USD, and then NPC pays us what? 60-40. Thank God for Asiwaju Tinubu. I'm not APC, don't come back, and thank God for him because he unified exchange rate. Before, they would pay me at 450 naira to a dollar, and they will pay 60%. Imagine if my project or the equipment, if it's an EPCI project, engineering, procurement, construction, and installation. I know a petroleum engineer that I want to practice it out there. Don't worry. You go know better when you come out. Like I speak to you. Back to that. Imagine my project is 25% net profit. Net is the one that is we deal with, right? I struggle with that all the time, so I call my accountant to explain it. So, and they only pay 60% in USD. And my 60% they pay is less than my cost of project. So I need to go back and I need 15% more. And meanwhile, my foreign exchange or my exchange rate, I've already lost how much. During the Mayfair, central bank was giving it out at 450. When you go to buy, you buy it at 900 naira. So I'm already over 100% short. So my projects are dead. But do you know what? As an engineer, this is no longer the YDX for engineering. It's now the YDX for business. Now, when y is it x a function of y, y a function of x, and those professors in maths used to f1 is this. I had to do that on the board in my office. And one of my business partners came and said, Olaoye, what is this? I said, well, that's my commercial model. He said, you are just too technical, but he has no idea what I'm going through. So do you now see when government comes in and say, you know what, we're unifying it, and some of you on social media, because other political parties are complaining, you have not sat down and said, what is the impact of this policy? What is it going to do on business? But all you do, you just jump on that bus, and you are all saying we no go green on social media. But do you know one thing? Each time I sit you, I just gather you, bring you close to me, and I just need to spend 1 or 2 hours with you, and I always get you. God's favor was there. This guy, they were with me. Was it early this year or last year? I can't remember. Early this year. They were like kids in the candy store when they came, but they came out better. So that is my second challenge. My third challenge is also, close to that, which is in this society, we are too far from the truth. We are far from reality. Let me tell you, Tunde said it. He made up his mind he's not leaving this country. He was in Manchester. He worked there, but he decided to come back. I was outside this country for close to 20 years. I had a fantastic career. Yes, impressive CV. But I asked myself, I cannot stay in North America and condemn everything at home. What can I do? But that is a personal conviction. Now, what is the challenge there? Which is also an opportunity. People are going to challenge you. People are going to ask you. People are going to say, come on, what are you doing? People are going to call you stupid. People are going to tell you, no, that Nigeria. Well, guess what? Majority of my friends in the state of Texas, some are in Georgia now, they call me, Olaoye, we want to come to Nigeria. We want to work. How do you understand? Unfortunately, you have to be, if you are not a Jambite, you cannot be a Stellite or Jambito. Yes, ma'am. You cannot. In Nigeria, just like when we move abroad, but they won't tell you. I don't know whether I went to secondary school in Nigeria, so maybe he didn't experience what we experienced. But he had his engineering degree in Manchester, correct? Masters and PhD, but BSc in UI. Oh, great. So we have a lot of see, I never even knew that he is a great UI. Excellent. So when you get there, whether you are in Europe or America, brothers and sisters, there is always a moment of stability. There's a moment where you say, you know what, I'm done, I'm going back home. Yes. Yes. But you know what? They will not tell you. Nobody. The first few months, I had a job waiting for me now. Yes. They flew me down there, put me in a hotel for 6 weeks. Forced me to bring my 2 children and their mom. So I had a fantastic transition. But guess what? I still have to be a Jambite. You need minimum of 2 years, if you're lucky, to stabilize. But they will never tell you that. Because here, I can come to Dr. Olusola and say, oh boy, I beg. Sorry, I'm 100,000 there. need it. He said, I will and do. You ain't doing that abroad. Don't crazy. Where do you want me to get that? That's number one. Number two, you don't have outside there if you are married. You know the other of them all is no Nigerian will give you the best advice. They want you to go through the same way they went, that they had issues. How can you come and have it easy? Imagine me working as a project engineer on the best bakery, the most profitable and the highest profile project for bakeries and ExxonMobil, a Sakhalin extended reach drilling. And yet, I had to pay my dues. Now, you now come back home. Dr. Olusola will tell you, rain wasn't plug and play, was it? Thank you, sir. Ganko wasn't plug and play. But you have to, first of all, believe in yourself. You can succeed. They say you cannot succeed when people don't believe in you. You can succeed when people don't believe in you. But you cannot succeed when you don't believe in yourself. You have to believe in yourself. So the challenge is you trying to listen. They are going to tell you, why are you doing that? Nigeria is not a place to do business now. You can't survive. You can't do this. You can't do that. But guess what? You know what I get every day now? How my colleagues, despite their fantastic salary, how they even struggle. Because I know it. I'm there. So the challenge is you being able to manage the negativity in this climate, in this society. But you cannot manage it if you don't trust yourself. But the opportunity is, it shows your strength. It's a test of your strength. It's a test of your belief in yourself. It's a test of your intentionality. If there's an English word for that. So the challenge is there. I'll give you a story. I'll close with this for this session. Early this year, I think April, May, we were for the past 2 years, 1 year plus. One of the marginal oil companies, I won't mention their name, they called us. There's a field, they gave us RFQ that Tunde said doesn't want to do. They call you integrity to help them look at the well, how to re-enter, ask all sorts of questions. A jacket in the open water. They sent me the picture. I looked at it. I said, come on, this jacket does not have integrity. I even gave them 35% integrity. Hear that? I'm not a mechanical engineer. That was a facility engineering problem. Do you understand? He has already told you about reinventing yourself, learning, and believing in yourself, and staying focused. So I looked at it. And he said, no, give us everything in Turkey. Turkey is everything packaged together. But I run away from marine, anything marine. I call it's for the warlords. Not just the marine, they say I also have to manage the communities. Offshore Ondo, the only advantage was Ondo speaking people, Ilaje people. So they gave me the name of the head of the militants. It was a challenge, but an opportunity for me to know how to communicate to people who are not like you. Fortunately, Otumba called. I greeted in Yoruba this hour. He said, Yoruba makes life better. He still called me yesterday. He calls me every day. Now, I gave the commercial, we did the presentation, technical presentation, everything. And they said the cost was high. Fast forward, I told my team, don't worry. I said, I don't even want problem. They said we should give discount, normal thing. And we did. they said it wasn't enough. So on the phone, on the virtual meeting, I said, please, take the marine yourself. Don't give us the marine. I am begging you. Please, don't. We are not a marine company. They said, no, we want to. Anyway, fast forward, then later the GM Technical is also a very good friend and a colleague in the industry. Said, well, Olaoye, some people are coming cheaper. I said, please go to them. And I told my team they are coming back to me. I was like, why are you so sure? I said, yes. Guess what? They went to another company, they said, I didn't know that there was a mole in their system who was telling others, who was giving the other company our own quote. I said, just come, no, 30% lower. And they came in, put some fine prints there. They gave them the job. I said, good luck. At the negotiation, the guy jacked it up. Almost 50% above our own price. They awarded the job. They found out that the skill to manage the project, to do the project, they did not have it. I was on a job. Immediately they called. Please, can you get us someone that can superintend that project? I said, well, I will check now. But what you guys want to do is a lot. So you need someone who understands the entire region. He said, honestly, Olaoye, you spoke Yoruba, you Wano and lost it. You are the one that will go. I said, unfortunately, I'm on a project and we're having problems with 2 words. I cannot leave. Say what? We will see. Fast forward, I got ready, went to that project, and I had a meeting in Louisiana. I said, I only have 7 days. Pay me this amount. They said, no, sir. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, they now started calling me to evaluate my own competitor. We went on that job. I was supposed to leave. The job was just 50%. Who is going to replace you? I said, I have to get off this platform. Remember, no chopper, no suffer. So we went on the seawalk, sailed to the field, to the location in the middle of Atlantic Ocean. Get us out would be Bilipo, which is the basket, lower you on not to a fixed bar, to a banana boat. If I can show you guys the video, my mom is late. You will even feel sorry for my dead mom. But that is not the story, which I will tell you is the opportunity in your generation. So they said, who is going to relieve you? I said, well, my operations manager. Send me a CV. I send them a CV. But this guy just graduated in 2016. Blah, blah, blah. I said, I trained him. He's my mentee. You'll find out that this guy will do a good job. And with me backing him up. The only time I won't be able to answer calls when I'm here, but I'm off to Texas 2 days now. They said, okay. If you said that, the IMD said, oh, Olaoye, that you are leaving. Imagine, I wasn't needed initially. Now, they don't want to do away with me. Now, I'm bringing in, quote and unquote, a green on. This is probably 2 generations or 3 generations. I think Nathaniel knows this generation. I don't know which generation he's belonged to. Maybe it's millennial or whatever. I understand you guys are Gen Z or whatever. Anyway, I'm bringing in a millennial. The moment I called, he said, no problem, boss. When should I get ready? I said, tomorrow. He left Port Harcourt. And he was right on way. Ready before the boat. Now they sent a banana, but by the time they lowered me into the banana boat, I started thinking of someone's song. I started shedding tears. I left this platform. What if this jacket gives way and sending someone's soul to the middle of Atlantic Ocean? That the owners of the field have never been there. They only send drone. You understand? My colleagues spoke about what a CEO does, the decisions we make. Now, banana boat came in a lower moon, and we were on that banana boat in the middle of the ocean. I don't know, I've never swum in a pool. Please don't ask me how I manage offshore operation. So deep down for another discussion. And I was there. I said, well, if this thing drops, so be it. As a risk. But I could take a risk on myself. We got to another jetty that was about 1 hour from the middle of the sea. And Eide Momodu was waiting for me. I looked at him. I started crying. Not crying because crying that so this guy believes in me. He can take bullet from me. As I got down, the equipment he had to bring, I helped him. I got into my own boat with about 6 marine police to take me to Warri. And he did not look. I jumped on the banana boat. I looked back. The boat was right on the sea. And I was like, wow. God save this guy. None of us should die. You see, he got to the platform before I got to Warri, because we had to go through the creeks. For me, I think to some extent, if the militants open fire, some police will die before I probably die. You understand? And as we got to maybe a bit near one of the fields, I got a message, sir, I'm on the platform. I said, I'm proud of you, boy. I got to Warri. I got on the plane to Lagos. Second day I was on the plane to the US. Guess what? By the time I boarded the plane to DC in Lagos, the company stopped talking to me. Everybody was talking to Eve. They forgot of me. What is the challenge that I give to opportunity? Your generation, you are excited about everything, adventurous. So, when I look at you, I look at a group of people that are already ahead of yourself. That's the challenge. What's the opportunity? How to pass the message to you. That calm down. It's going to be okay. You will get there. We want to pass the baton to you. So that's the message. So the thing is this. If you are able to flip challenges to opportunities, you won't have problems. Now, if everybody has been doing it, it's no longer important. It's no longer exciting. Look for something that has not been done. Honestly, something that has not been done. Let me tell you, potentials are great. You have great potentials. You are going to be, in fact, there are people here who are going to be better CEOs. You understand? Better CEOs. We were talking about a colleague of ours. We were all here at the same time, different departments. is the CEO of a big company now. And guess what? He told me, he said we were together yesterday. And the day someone was going to introduce that person to me, he said, in fact, he didn't put Mr. Olaoye, come. I said, he said, come and meet my boss. I said, I just got there. I said, oh, how are you? You are Faraday. You know me? I said, yes, when you are together. The other man was like, eh? I said, you are here, we were not close then, we were close to a lot of my friends. I started to say, oh, yeah. In fact, oh, it's my number. We need to start talking, blah, blah, blah. I said, the other one. So what am I saying? When we were there, Tunde and I probably never thought we would be that comfortable. So everything starts with you. Challenges are going to come. If you do not face challenges, forget about opportunities. If it's easy, I repeat, everybody will do it. So don't expect easy things. People are going to wake you up in the middle of the night. I close with this. We had a well control problem in 2014, yes. No, 2015, yes. Offshore Angola. For those who are familiar with drilling, madam will know, most well control problems, kicks, and Tunde will also know, you have kicks when you're drilling, and mostly when you're pulling out of the hole. Or, if you're careless, you drill into an overpressure zone, or maybe when you're making connection. We drilled successfully to casing depth. We have already penetrated an overpressure zone. Very, very thin but highly charged. And we were all telling people, be careful of the turbidite sand. We drilled through it a couple of feet, maybe 100 feet. I went on time off. My colleague, a Latin American, wanted to be a hero. He did not pay attention. We ran casing successfully, cemented, waiting on cement. They were kicked. The BOP does not have casing round. Guess what? They called me the second day, and the guy was speaking in the don't worry, it's Tama expansion, blah, blah, blah. I said, no. Other odd eggs started, oh, we're going to bullhead. I said, you bullhead behind the casing. Who does that? Oh, we're going to do, and call the long story short. 4 or 5 days later, they were still battling. My boss said, well, you get on the plane and come over to Luanda. Cut short your time up. I was angry. I had to give the phone to my 4 years and I guess 8 years older. Please talk to her. My boss begged my 2 lovely daughters. Of course, I wanted to go solve the problem, but I had to be political at home. So, got in to Luanda. They were not even, my colleague was not willing to talk to me. He still wanted to be hero. They called in experts from America. And it was shortly after Macondo, for some of you who will remember Macondo, in I guess 2008. DP was like, and I stayed on my desk, nobody was, and I knew they were going to fire that guy. I knew it. And I started running the numbers. I said, let's go this route. We go this route, we will only spend, I think, 7.5 million extra. We can go this route, it's easy, we yo-yo, but we end up spending $80 million. I put everything on the table, I presented. They said, no, we're going to do the job. We chose this route. I was wrong. We spent $82,500,000. just to control the well. But that wasn't the challenge. The challenge was, how do I maintain people's mentality? 75 people on board a Jacobi with 3,500 PSI behind the casing, held by the annular, and the annular was rated for 1,250 PSI. Guess what? You have to wear your engineering hat. And I kept telling them, sir, that cement has killed. 1 foot of cement behind the casing can hold 5,000 PSI. They said, no. I said, I tell you, can you bleed off? Get the annular off. They said, no. Olaoye, no, it's risky. I said, guess what? My 2 fools, every day I'll be in the CEO's office. But guess what? I was consistent. But you know what? What if I'm wrong? You have to put that. In engineering, you need to choose safety factor. What if, and I told him, I said, well, there's a likelihood of 2% that pressure is still there. What if I said, I will bleed off for the first 2 minutes, I will check. Bleed off again, I will check. No, we're not going to do that. Guess what? The Oyinbos they came were on $5,000 a day. What do you think the Oyinbos will do? They want to stay longer. And there was this young Nigerian with an accent telling us what to do. But you know, I will wake up, my phone will ring, I will do like this because I don't know whether the annular has given up. Guess what? If the annular gives up, that's game over. Because we had about 6 other producing wells on the platform. If the annular gives up, what are we going to do? People will start jumping into the sea. And we are going to lose people. That was the most traumatizing period of my life. It's a challenge. But guess what? It makes me, it now turned me to a better well engineer. Following year, I was in the well control school in Houston, Texas. And I said, what if you have a kid behind casing? No, it never happened. Whoa, all those other cowboys, rednecks, as big as these, or tobacco chewing guys. No, it's not going to happen. I said, what? I had it. What happened? And I had to take them through the poor pressure side. Then, what happens within the time you're waiting on cement? When your cement moves from slurry to hard cement, guess what? This your hard cement now that you are behind me. The weight is no longer 12.8 or 15 point, whatever you put there. The weight is 8.3. But because it's cured, so that period, if your pore pressure is above your hydrostatic, the well is good. And I was a learner in that class. To get my IWCS certification, I became what? A lecturer. That day. So, when I teach well control now, when someone tells, no, they have this, they have that, I say, well, calm down. At least your cake is behind your path. Wall. I said it's like eating a cup and fried meat. So challenges are not setbacks. Challenges are not to be scared of. Challenges are opportunities. Oh, I struggle with structural geology. I struggle with, and I told this course I took Prof yesterday, computer application in petroleum engineering. I was so scared. In fact, nothing in petroleum engineering is as abstract as that. But guess what? If I see your notes today, I will tell you everything we are planning. Because I'm still right there. So every challenge you face now is an opportunity. So to me, as a businessman, I don't see challenges. I see opportunities. So it helps me to empathize. When I sit down listening to Nathaniel is soft-spoken. Nathaniel, I've never seen him angry. That's my child. He calls me regularly, he texts me, but it has improved my listening ability. So dealing with different people helps you to grow. When you go back home, you're talking to your parents. They may not be engineers. They may be lawyers, like you said. They may be accountants. They may be civil servants. But they know many things you don't know. Listen to them. Your generation, I want to tell you, you are a fantastic generation. So talented. I was looking at the board and saw a lot of 3.8, 3.9, 3.5. I said, wow. Today, I'm not too sure we had many like that. And you thought we had it nice. I'm not too sure if any one of you go to the bank to queue, or your parents come to the school to give you money, they transfer to you. We had to borrow 5 naira to go home, and you get home, you don't meet your parents. There was no cell phone. You don't meet your parents, and you have to beg anyone around to give you money to go back, and your friends in the room. Tunde ti lonely man, woman day. We go church today. She'll bring Gary, what you bring Gary? And Tunde will be like from only Kuti or Tega. You see, and of course, those one was up. So at the gate, when you see Tunde not smiling, you know that that day is not smiling. But you will still have to pull through. But those things did what? Made us to bond well. We bonded. We saw strength in each other. I can relate with anybody now because then we had many of our guys, our generation, they are now decision makers. But because we bonded well, I could get into, I don't know if you remember Ramide Jegede. You know, he's in Wando, he's now in Easter. From the game, Ramide number one, that's it. But we were eating marble together in Zikro. So today, we can say anything to each other. We can now sit down and address problems together. Challenges are
Thank you very much, Engineer Olaoye. Challenges are. Thank you very much for those wise words. So, just to announce, some of the students stepped out for their prayer, so they'll be joining us shortly. And because we are pressed for time, we are going to be merging some questions together. The first question, which is still a general question, is on how you manage your personal relationships, your friends, your families. How do you continue to keep contact with all these important people in your life, despite your busy schedule? So I know we've all talked about our professional networks, our professional relationships, but down to the personal relationships, how do you continue with this? How do you build on it? How do you spend time with family, despite the schedule that you have? So Engineer Tunde, I'll start with you.
Okay, thank you very much. Whether you like it or not, you are number one. If your head is not straight, nothing else is straight. Number two, your wife. And make your life difficult. And if your head is not correct, your home is not correct, you are going nowhere. Your wife can make your home comfortable for you, so you have to sort out your life. So your home is next. Your home. Your friends. Your friends. It depends on what you call friends. And in the world today, we have all manner of friends. Is it just a social friend, or a business friend, or a development friend? A lot of people doesn't see me in the industry because I don't do what they do. I can't be found where they are found. And I'll tell you one of the things I tell myself. Boshewa, Loshemalo. Right? As it comes, the same way it will go. You publicize, you publish what you are getting or what you are doing, or you negotiate it. The same way the people who give you, we help you to facilitate how it will go. And in the long run, you wonder if you actually work or what you work for. So you need, therefore, to define your friends. On what basis? Who is my friend? I'm not saying don't have friends. Everybody is my friend. I know on what premise what I discuss with you. I can knock your door at any time when I need you, and I will get what I want. You're my friend. I will support you. I don't do JV personally. Decision. I've seen so many JVs gone awry that they cannot even use the name of the organization. I've seen several pastors inclusive in the same church. So I don't do JV. I'll rather consult for you. Go. Don't give me. They will come and they will tell you that you have, let's do it together. There's a lot of opportunities. I'll do it for you. Don't worry. Just do. Whatever is not mine, whatever doesn't originate from me, doesn't attract me. I'm not interested. So, you manage relationship based on your final target, what's your expectation, what you want to become. You want to become a GED, you want to become a minister, you must be in politics. Right? So that you can be seen. But you want to live your peaceable life, then respect yourself. You don't need 1 million people. You only need cogent people. But you want to become a minister, you want to become a president, you want to become a governor, and then you must be seen on the marketplace. Everybody must know you. Every party you must attend, because they must see you. You want to build bridges. But you want to live your life, peaceful life, then you need to reduce your exposures. So the way you throw yourself out will determine what you really want to achieve. Do you understand me? It's better your handiwork announce you than you announcing yourself. You control, you define relationships. When what you have achieved, your successes has announced you, you define. But when you are the one who has to go out, then they define for you. So you manage a relationship on your terms. Do you understand now? You define who and who I need, who I don't want to roll with, so that you reduce your exposures. And that goes a long way also. So for me, all you are working for is for your family. Then the next one you also therefore need to consider is CEO all about making money? Okay, after making the money, what is the money for? Is to give back. Give back to your alma maters. Give back to your past communities and immediate communities. Give back. In that way, you control also who you are responsible to. Your lecturers are here. Your former principals, teachers, headmistress, right? You need to control all of that. They are very important. And they are also a source of blessing. So don't rule out certain things. Many of the times, we waste our times on what doesn't matter and concentrate on things and don't concentrate on things that matters. We look more on satisfying humanity, making people happy. They are my friend, they are my friend, they are my friend. But the original thing why God gave you those opportunities. You may think you are making money, the money is yours. I'm sure a number of you remember Hibbert, the Access Bank CEO. He is gone now with all the money. Yeah. Right? He has done as much as he could, but he could do better with all the wealth in his territory. We have a whole lot to do. You are in this country to make a difference. You are not here by a mistake. And if God gives you that wealth, it is to transform and to leave a landmark before you leave. Our health sector is not good. You need to be involved with your resources. Our educational sector is not good. Those are enough to take your time down. Sitting with friends, like he said, some people can spend 1 million on drinks in 2 hours at a pub. They don't care. That's the way they want to live. But yet, some people are spending their money on health sector, on educational sector, on infrastructures. So people are doing that. So which one would you prefer? And if you spend your money on those ones, you control your relationships. And you find out that those relationships are more meaningful because they are more result-oriented, They're more result-oriented. Do you get me? So, in terms of relationship, you find out that once your kids, your family knows that these are the causes you have committed to, they become interested and everybody joins your bandwagon and you start coasting on. So it makes communication, it makes relationship a lot easier for you. But where you are not able to define your relationships, then it becomes open-ended. You can't control it. And you don't have time for the family. So your family first, then outside world. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay, because of time, we'll try and keep the responses to about a minute because we have one last personal question to ask each of the panelists. So I'll move to you, Dr. Olusola. What exactly, how do you manage your time and how do you spend time with family and friends?
Thank you very much. Now, when it comes to private lives, family and all, for me, and I'm sure for many of us, our parents are one of our biggest fans, right? Your parents want you to succeed, right? Good. See your business or whatever venture you have as representing your family. Every achievement must be celebrated at home. So let's say you get your first client. Whoever did this banner, I'll keep referring to this banner because that's one skill many people here have. I got this contract to develop a banner for the Faculty of Engineering and Co. Tell your mom, tell your dad, these are the people, they may not give you money, but it makes them happy. Just one reason I'm saying this. Look at Dangote today. He is the richest man in Nigeria. But, I don't know if his parents are alive. Are they alive? Are they alive? I don't know. I'm asking, okay, good. Let's say they're not alive. He would wish that, he just built a refinery. He wishes his mom or his dad were alive to celebrate this, but they're not there. But the memory of how they celebrated those little beginnings, humble beginnings, would linger in his mind. Because one thing is that as a CEO, the song is there now, Lonely Adito. I don't know where you are, where you're going to be, but as a CEO, at the top of your own organization, you're lonely. Everybody wants to collect. Everybody's doing, you're not even sure who is with you because of what you can give. But those people that genuinely want your success and want nothing else from you than just the celebration of your achievements. By the time you are really raking in the funds, may not be there, but the memory of how you made them feel with the little achievements you made will linger. So I think that's powerful, because there's one venture capitalist called Engr. He wrote recently on LinkedIn about how his parents' blessings influenced his progress eventually. He started off at the beginning, they didn't support what he was doing, he didn't care about that. He was going to the US, he just went anyway. He said, with or without their blessings, he's going to do it. Then he encountered some challenges, things went south, and he came back to Nigeria, but he still didn't want to go to them. So even when he moved down to Nigeria, I think they were somewhere in Ibadan, Abiodun, I can't remember what he wrote. He just went, set up his own apartment, you know, that kind of thing. And once you start making money, you want to live alone. You don't want parents to disturb your life. Then later, things were still not going well. Then someone said to him, maybe he went to a pastor. The pastor said, your parents are not happy with you, right? He said, hey, now, when did you support me before now? I will show them that I can do it. He said, go and beg them to bless you. He later went back to them, and that was how things started picking up again. So I don't know what business you have in mind or whatever you are doing, but let your family be your greatest energy, okay? Because no matter what, that's what will keep you going. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's good to always be the top person, so you don't really. But the opportunity for you is that you think through everything yourself. They say when you go alone, you go fast. When you go together, you go out, you go far. So you live for people around you. They said it, your immediate family. Because when shit hits the roof, you are alone with them. That's the thing. God forbid. When we see people, either they drop dead or they slump on the road, what do people say? Do you know his family? Do you know his people? That's the thing. So your people, your family, you live for them. They check on you every day. And he says something, celebrate your success. When you make them happy, you are happy. Tunde also mentioned your immediate family. I mean, not your immediate family, the academic community. Some of us, when we come back to these departments, I mean, I personally know the same thing with me. We want to say this is where I was raised. What are you doing? What are you doing to, if positively influence them? How many people do you bring joy to their faces? That is it. Or do you want them to go to the same thing or a more difficult conditions than you went through? So you have to answer these questions.
Okay, my final question, I'll make it a general question, but I want the responses to be specific to your industry. So what advice do you have to give to students here that are looking to venture into your different industry? Engineer Tunde into asset management, into robotics for Dr. Olusola, and then for Engineer Olaoye, I see you've also ventured into well engineering and project management. So what advice, in just a minute, can you give to students who have interest in this particular field?
Okay, thank you. As a reservoir engineer, I love to see being produced, to increase production. And nobody will ask you how much you spend. And that's what I tell reservoir engineers. Just increase production. Nobody will ever ask you how much you spend. Well, when you don't increase production, then they come back at you. How much did you say you use for the operations? You have to defend it. That's number one. Now, in terms of where to specialize, follow your heart, be open-minded, and learn, and learn. As a reservoir engineer, I manage FPSOs now without shutdown. And reservoir engineering doesn't take me to present at OTC. You know OTC, right?
Yeah.
Offshore Technology Conference. Reservoir engineering doesn't take me there. But maintenance of FPSA took me there. And we were the first company, Engr is the first company after the MD of Shell presented. Olaoye at that time as an MD. After he presented at OTC, in fact, she virtually spoke about our technology and our company. And when she finished, we were next to speak. So everybody was there at OTC. What am I saying? I wasn't a mechanical engineer. FPSO is a big ship there, and we have to do the maintenance work, which is about welding and all of those kind of things. And we say, sorry, we have the technology, you don't need to weld. Keep producing, we keep fixing it. There's a unique sealant that we have, and we keep sealing it. Keep doing the job for them, maintaining the assets for them under class. And it was a tremendous success for them. And we were recognized for supporting their 1 billion barrels of production. And that was in May this year. So keep your eyes open, keep your tentacles open, so that when you see opportunities, you can identify it. When you see a value proposition, you can identify it and be able to adapt it to suit a needed purpose. Then money will come into your hand. Thank you.
Thank you. On that question, the question about how you can venture into robotics. Now, for you, I think some of you are electrical, right? And then petroleum. Do you have any other department here? Civil engineering and code, all here, right? Good. Stick to your field. Determine what problem is most pressing, and then go into robotics and AI to solve that problem. The reason is that every field is transforming at the moment. Every field wants to apply AI into their challenges. But you are the ones that know the problem there. Fix it. Now, when you want to now learn robotics, I would say that hardware is big. You need hardware. You need access to hardware. But then, thank God you are in UI. There's the UI Design Studio. There's the Fab Lab. You know what the Fab Lab is, right? And the Design Studio is a national building. Use this. Because back in our time, I finished from UI in 2011. There were no 3D printers, let me say. In fact, Arduino board wasn't common at that time. To the extent that it was just, when I was in 500 level, the 100 level students then would gather themselves in one room in my department and be programming, and I'd be like, what are these small children doing? Like, we didn't do that now, and I'm in 500 level now. They're wasting their time. Only to realize that, hey, that was the new tech. We needed to all learn how to program a microcontroller to solve problems. So my point is, you need the hardware. Thank God you have that facility. Think of problems. I'll give you one. When I was with Fort Engineering, there was an oil and gas related project that we did, which was inspecting rigs underwater to check if it needs painting or welding. And you needed a robot that would clamp onto the rig and with a camera, scan around it and then clamp again. So there was a technology for cutting trees that used that method. So all they needed to do was deploy that kind of solution for cutting trees to the rig, but for inspecting the rig. Now, how can we do this? You can, on your own, start looking into that problem. Whether you want to go and do a master's before you go into the industry or start your own venture, whatever, have the idea of what you want to do. Now, one big area in oil and gas and underwater subsea engineering is communication. How do we develop wireless communication? And the world will soon, deal with that problem. But I feel if you are big in that area, if you are strong in that area, you become an authority. What you should be looking out for is, where are the gaps? Where can I be an authority? Where can I be a leader in? To the extent that when people are thinking, you know what, our company now needs to start looking at underwater wireless communication. Once they do some Google search, they will see most of your works. They will invite you. You understand? So I feel that that's one way to get into robotics. Think of the problem and start learning towards solving that problem. Don't just learn the whole overview because you might never get anywhere.
I'm going to also protest. You guys next time tell us the dress code. I feel left out. I don't like wearing this. If I talk, man, we're going to talk about CEOs and I look at all this. So I need to. I'm a very, very open person and anything I do, so I'm eating into my time, or you pardon me. So, you know, we live on credit in America, so I always ask for credit. Increase credit. Thank you. So next time, please, I want to ask whoever is the president when next you guys come. I hope you guys are not going to call us in the next 2 weeks. But I will ask, can I wear my kaftan? You understand? I feel so happy out here. Okay, fine. I think I said a lot yesterday in my presentation. For some of you who are not here, you are in 500 level. I ask questions from almost everybody that comes around. What is your strength? Where do you want to be? And I hear, I want to be a drilling engineer. I want to be a reservoir engineer. I love this. It's amazing. Great. You know why I asked that question? I mentored young engineers when I was in the Gulf of Mexico. People out of Penn State University, you know. Thank God they did not look at the color of my skin or my accent, so I mentored them. So, but when you are here, open your mind. Please, open your mind. Engineering is evolving. Don't just say, I want to be a drilling engineer and I only make Dr. Akintola happy. I only focus on drilling. And she is here. She knows that she can't exhaust drilling. Drilling is one area that even if you have 4 or 5 courses per semester in drilling, you may not be able to cover it. In fact, these are known to be the best drillers, mechanical engineers. The reason why petroleum engineers, because we always want to be a driller, because I understand drilling, you don't understand it. I want to be a reservoir engineer because I understand you don't understand it. So what do you want to be? We always believe, oh, I want to be a production engineer. What do you understand about production? He said something. He started by saying he increases production as a reservoir engineer. Nobody asked him how he spent, how much he spent. That is the good thing about subsurface engineering. They don't ask them, or they ask us, well, engineers. We have to provide the cost. We have to stick to the cost. But you know what? It's a challenge, but an opportunity. So, open your mind, please. Your first job is never your paid job. Write that down. You're a reservoir engineer, and the first obstacle is getting a place of primary assignment for NYSC. You may be posted to Taraba, or what do you call that place? Nasarawa State, close to Abuja. They are drilling there. But forgetting that the companies that are drilling there, they are not based in Abuja. They are not in Nasarawa. They are the likes of Tunde, the Olaoye, out of Lagos or Port Harcourt, taken to Nasarawa. So when you are a copper in Nasarawa, you ain't getting a place of primary assignment with Ganku there. So that's the first obstacle. It is either you seek redeployment to Rivers or Delta or Lagos, or you finish there and you now begin to say, okay, how do I, navigate this? So your dream of reservoir engineering is beginning to do what? To get to setback, right? Thank you. Now you get a job with Ganku. Maybe you know someone who knows someone who knows someone who knows Olaoye, right? and you send your resume, and it's the time you're resuming. I mean, sorry, recruiting. I don't understand anything about reservoir engineering. So, I'm going to make you what? A life cycle engineer. That's what I'm going to make you do. Well engineer. And you have to, when you wake up in the morning, where do you stay?
In the well.
Inside the well. Until you sleep. And if you cannot, every time I come to your desk, I draw it 3D. Because that's the difference between us and those people in Faculty of Science, correct? Ability to think 3D. Is robotics, are they not 3D? Thank you, they design. He was talking about materials. You understand? So open your mind. Be broad. Out there, it's not what you think. Because you are clean. You are very, very fresh. You don't know where to be. There is a way you even walk on the rig. As you're walking, they know. Don't you guys know termites when they come? Yeah. There's a way termites walk. Correct? Right. In America, they call them freshers. Fresher here is jambitos. When they are walking, you know it's the termites. We know when you are new on the rig. Mubarak, I took him to the west side. I beg, don't make jest of him when you talk to him. Just say, Olaoye said. When he got out of the car to go to the well, I saw the way he was walking. I said, now, you're going to be walk. There is a way they walk. Do you understand? You know. So, open your mind. I never liked drilling at all. Because I felt drilling was abstract and too mechanical. So guess what? My first job was site and drilling. The first 1 year, I wasn't interested. I was on the read, but I was reading programming, sir. C++. That was what I was studying. Because I wanted to go to well testing. And I wanted to do what? To be able to come up with a program that everything the late Professor Money taught us. To apply it. And they were not calling it robot, what do you guys call it now? AI or machine language. They were calling it Abiodun programming. And I started JPT, no internet. The only internet I saw there was in Nuri Arowono's office in Chevron, in Port Harcourt. The first time he talked about internet, email, I said, what is that? Sorry, I'm not old, so don't think that. I happened to come early. So, but you brought in your mind. Guess what? Started, got the job on the rig, laundry. The first operation, our first major operation was walkover. The first 5 was walkover. It's boring. But guess what? Like he said, they had a voice. One day I was inside, I was taking in fresh air on that tree, laundry. And that thing just still small voice say, learn as much as you can. You may not have this opportunity again. That was the turnaround. I started looking at walkover problem, and our first drilling was an exploration well. I started applying the well engineering, the drilling, everything they taught us. And because it was a deep well, high pressure, we ran out of, and we were having losses, so we ran out of calcium carbonate because it has maximum weight. So we were drilling with predominantly barytes. So I was not asking the mud engineer with someone, another product of UI, Larry. So we were asking the mud, he said, well, we have to do this, we have to do that. I said, but if they go deep, we were drilling with almost 13 ppg, and you said calcium carbonate cannot get to this. The guy was like, Abi, who are you? Because I was just an operations engineer, all they wanted me to do to take care of their data on the rig. Abi is an Italian. Who are you? How do you understand this? I said, I'm a graduate of petroleum engineering. And Larry, who made first class here, you know him very well. Not to, they call him Pop Joint for the week. So, Larry told the man, he said, that guy, you have no idea who you are on this week. The man came back to my office. He started telling me, you're going to be a great guy. Please, Cyber may not be treating you well, but your knowledge is not going to be a waste. Guess what? I thought following months they were going to make me a two-pusher. I was wrong. I was on that position, contract staff for 3 more years until I got job with Baker Hughes. Now, drilling, but not full drilling, directional drilling. That you hardly get taught in school. That was when I learned it. Then, because of my read experience and all this, they moved me to a group called Oasis, a select group globally within Baker Hughes. Guess what? Just a Nigerian in Port Harcourt. So I learned optimization, drill bits, PHA design, but my knowledge of practical operation on the rig helped. Can you not see how things lead one to the other? And I was an optimization engineer till I left the country. But I never left my primary focus, which is no coding. I don't know shit about coding again because I couldn't figure it out. It's just true. I mean, when you are coding, you have to be. I'm sorry, I'm not patient. So I love to be able to say, okay, this is the idea, and I started revising my drilling notes. Do you understand? So in Baker, they now gave us a lot of materials. So I began to. So what I did, what coding now helped me was all the software I could understand. I was the first to figure out everything. When they would send us abroad, I'll come back and I'll be the SME. Now, I started looking at it from this point that, wait, can I really pursue a corporate line? You have to identify, you have to understand yourself. Who are you? Psychologists call it self-work discovery. So when you discover yourself, you have no problem. So you won't be. I cannot be Tunde. I cannot be Dr. Olusola. They can't be me, but we can complement each other and make this world a better place. So I started looking at it. I told you about someone who taught me that if I want to make a career in well engineering, I have to embrace geology. I took that one on board as well. So gradually, I started saying, let me look at holistic. While people in Oasis, some ventured into drill bits application, some ventured into drilling system, some ventured into pressure management. You know what I ventured into? Total system approach. Total system approach. They wanted to make me a directional driller on the rig. And then directional drillers were earning $1,200 a day. Then, I don't know how much they're paying them in Nigeria now. So, it was like, when you're a DD on the rig, you are Jesus Christ on your own. Trust me, you make no. In fact, they call you, it's like everything you need. So everybody wanted, but guess what? My bosses did not want me because they felt I wasn't politically good. But I was saying the way it is. I could not lie. By lying, you say it's not. So I would tell you, no, you're wrong. It's not supposed to be like this. So they said, no, they won't send Olaoye to the rig to be a DD because it's too. And that's okay. I'll be a consultant and I'll be your boss. And I saw a role in America and applied to do. I got to America, they still told me that I have to be pro Baker Hughes. My blood has to be pure. Please continue to understand. But then I still had that broad mind. One day, we left a meeting with the president of Global Drilling Optimization that was, part of that group. The man said, no, we won't send our engineers to client's office. Because before you know, they start thinking like clients. I just reclined to myself. I said, I'm out of the chemist today. As I walked out of that office, I went to my desk. I said, I just spoke to myself. I'm leaving the guys today. But did I leave that in? No. I said, from today, all my courses will be well engineering, project management, everything outside Baker, and Baker will pay for it. I just applied for my MBA in Texas A&M, Baker will pay for it. Guess what? So I started building myself. And I told myself, can I be a corporate man in Baker? Either I grow to become vice president. Is that time I will now step out to start my own? I said, let me start building myself. And I missed something. Dr. Olusola said it, and I think Tunde also said the same thing. When you get to a place, look for something that is a need. I did my internship with Abiodun in 1992 in Warri. I saw that Abiodun would be, what do you call it? They used to hire RTTS Packer, bridge blocks to come in there. I don't know whether you guys, maybe you read it in book. Retrievable test street squeeze packer is called. No longer use it. Use cement retainers and all those things. Anyway, and they will be charging $250, $300. And I started saying, wait, two renters. How can these reports come? Imagine how young I was then. So there is always a seed. There is always a seed. Not all of you will be CEOs of your own company. But some of you will be CEOs of other companies. And here this is a pyramid. 10 people will start together. If you're lucky, 3 people will make it midway. Some people will still be in that company, while the third one person will make it to the top. It is natural. So you choose what you want to be. So, but when you are broad-minded, you can learn. But when you say, I want to be a drilling engineer, you will close your mind to reservoir. When you say, I want to be production, when geologists are talking, you say, no, that doesn't concern me. Not all of you will be as lucky as I was. I was lucky, or I am lucky. And I always tell people, I'm an unconventional person. And I owe it to God. And I also owe it to people. I listen to them, mentors. Please identify a mentor. Ask questions. So that is how, be broad, have a mentor, discover yourself. Then don't lie to yourself. Don't tell yourself lies. Your first car is not going to be a G-Wagon. I can bet my top dollar on that. If your first car is a G-Wagon, please go back to your parents and tell them to start praying for you. Yes. That's it. If your first car is, because whoever buys that for you, whether you're a lady and that person buys it for you, is for something or personal to him. Be careful. So that means you want to start climbing the tree from the top. You need to learn the ropes and be open to criticism. Yes, you might be a 4/4 student in UR. When you come out, I'm going to remind you that when this is my inlet and I inject gas or fluid, multi-phase here. What's the name? Kelechi, right? Where Kelechi is, am I going to have the same pressure? Thank you. You must be able to let me know that. As an engineer. This man is a mechanical engineer. Electrical. I keep thinking you are electrical. Oh, great. So, we are doing something now in Gango. He wants to understand, because all he wants to do for me is get me a system that will do that job better. I grew up as the son of a farmer. I'm landing up. We used to go to the jungle. I tell my engineers this. In Osun State, I'm from Igajo. You understand? We used to go hunt for rats, rabbits, and all these things. You can go without a dog, but you may struggle to get one. But when you go with a dog, a local dog that can sniff, that dog, I have videos I can send to you people. There is one that a dog had to kill one, that dog that they smoked it out. What these people do for us, they give us a very good hunting dog that will look at that hole, sniff it, say yes, something is there. And what that dog is doing is trying to do what? To dig that hole. And because the dog is faster than you, once that big rat, they call it okete in my language, once that big rat comes out, you can't pursue it. Otherwise, the thing is going to climb the tree. What happens? But the dog gets there fast. These people, they will design that dog that not only sniff it, but will make some noise for that thing to come out and kill it. And what do? We collect the rat from the dog. I'm sorry, dog. What do they give the dog? The bones. The bones. But you know what? That's theoretical. But there is a reason why I said that. I'm not trying to, we are the babalawos of all engineering, because we manage on certain. You charge us well ahead, but some of you are so business-minded now. Literally, what do? They say, well, we want to partner with you. Even though Tunde doesn't like gaming. We say, this software, we want to partner with you. Or we license it, we own the license. Even though it's your idea. I don't know whether you guys understand. So, you must also learn collaboration. Learn to collaborate. If you don't collaborate, you are not going to innovate. If you walk alone, you walk fast. If you walk together, you walk fast.
Okay, let me just ride on the back of what Engineer Olaoye just said. My last note on that will be for you. Look at the whole value chain of the oil and gas industry. Be open to all the value chains, the upstream, the midstream, the downstream. And I'm talking to you now as children. Be open up to all the things that goes on in each value chain. Upstream, drilling goes on, exploration goes on there, development goes on there. What are the things that goes on in development? Drilling, field development plan, drilling, production, well maintenance, and all of that. Trucking, sales, and all those things. In all of those units I've mentioned, there will be something new, and mark my word, you have the tool in your hand. Show me your phone. That's the tool. You have internet. Go and carry out your research continuously, and you will find out that somebody somewhere, either by your age or older than you, is doing something new with regards to that. If you can't think about it to do it, then latch on the existing. Do you understand me? If you can't think or you don't have the capacity in terms of materials or the knowledge base to do something new, latch on the existing, which is not in the country. About 2 months ago, they talked about emission and what do they call that thing again? Climate change. Actually, climate change is now our problem because we don't have, our industries are moribund. So it's not a problem. But they have used our carbon to develop their own, and they now say we should start doing climate change. But nonetheless, they will put a comma there, a word that will make you to comply, whether you like it or not. For you to comply, you must do that. We flare. We're in Canada when they mentioned that, I said, sorry, now when we wake up for our side, it be morning, no. We just wake up and we start using our gas. So we still flare a lot. But how do we do it? Whether you use your gas or anything, you must have a pilot flare line. That is for emergencies. Now, out there, you don't see them flaring into the air. You don't see flame emission. How do they do it? We went to check it out. And we find out that they incinerate it. And it burns like the gas cooker in your house. If you like, put the gas cooker in your house on for 24 hours. You don't have any emission. Right? That is injurious to your health. Now out there, assuming this is the field, the operating field, they are farming next to the farm, next to the plant, because they incinerate their pilot flares. Even the routine flare, they incinerate. There's no emission, 99.9+%. We got the approval for that. So don't get fixated that I'm a petroleum engineer, I'm a mechanical engineer, I'm an electrical engineer. No, opportunity can present itself to you at any time. Be open-minded. Be open-minded to receive. If you are not ready to receive, to learn something new, then success, fulfillment, there's success, there's fulfillment. Fulfillment is you in doing what you love to do. Right? Success is probably they made you a GM, MD, and they give you a car, they give you a pilot vehicle. But let me tell you one thing. The day that you retire, they withdraw all those things. And you are left in the cold. So, as you are there, even with planning your exit, one of my mentors told me, the day you enter a company as a new hire, that very day, determine the day you are leaving and don't change it. They will beg you not to go. But that means they have not finished using you. Because when they finish using you, they will think twice. They'll kick you out. Right? Before you send me out, I send myself. My DMD said he will not approve my package. He said he gave me 1 week to go and think. In my mind, I said, if you like, give me 1 year. Not be me right, I beg to apply. And I said, I know they beg to apply again. I just sit in my house. 12 years ago, I've never gone back to him. We have seen more than 6 times. And each time he said to me, I'm so proud of you. If I had remained there, I would still have been carrying bags. And you won't be able to speak at some meetings. Let me let you know that. Meetings where they don't want you to talk, you can't talk. Just a look. When they are lying, don't just be looking. We have been at a meeting whereby some of those, then they were called DPR, not AUPRC now, they were called DPR. And some of those guys came to us and said, that your guy can lie. Eh? And I can't see anything, but because I know also he was lying. Do you understand? So you have to decide whether you want to follow that line for the rest of your life, or you want to be separate and be fulfilled? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your insightful words. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for impacting in us. Can we please give them a round of applause? Thank you very much, sirs. We really appreciate you. We thank you for sharing with us different perspectives, different experiences. And we know, I am very sure that we've gained a lot. Haven't we?
Yes.
Can we please give a round of applause again for them to exit this day? Thank you very much, sirs. Thank you very much, Engineer Tunde. Thank you very much, Dr. Olusola. Thank you very much, Engineer Olaoye. It was nice speaking with you.